Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of Sunday's First Club, and we are out here in beautiful San Pedro. We're actually, funny enough, at a archery studio. It is owned by Mr. Hirokazu Kosaka, who is the master artist in resident at the JACCC. And funny enough, a Buddhist priest on the weekends. So if you think you're busy, you're not, he is. What we're gonna be talking about today, Wabi-Sabi. Wabi-Sabi is a Japanese concept that places emphasis and favor on things that are imperfect and impermanent. Where you could see this, one thing, ikebana, Japanese flower arrangements. They use seasonal flowers and they love asymmetry, right? And the whole point is not to embellish this thing and make it look perfect. Like, you know, we do our bouquets, it's like every flower is perfect and in bloom, and we're adding all these embellishments. No, ikebana is all about how it would be in nature at that season and that time, and appreciating it for what it is. So that's Wabi-Sabi, and we're gonna find out how we can incorporate that more into our lives. And then we're gonna do a flow at the JACCC in their beautiful garden later today. So if you're down for that part, you'll follow us there. So let's get into it and let's meet our friend Hiro. See you soon. All right, hello everyone. We're here with Hiro, and we're here at your dojo in San Pedro with your Kyudo practice going on. We came here to ask you about Wabi-Sabi. I know Wabi-Sabi doesn't have a direct translation to English. Do you have a way you would like to define it for our viewers?
Wabi-Sabi, both words came from Zen Buddhism. The period between 15th to 17th century, there were many cultural events happening. The scale became very small, but yet vast. They have very much interest in seasonal change, and that's very much part of the asymmetry, influencing flower arrangement, landscape architecture, the architecture itself. Here in Kyudo, we're now practicing the archery. And this is also connotes with this kind of wabi-sabi influence. The rustic material of our instrument, the bow and arrow, more than 1,000-year-old. It's bamboo that is shaped into asymmetry. So we have to be very mindful of the seasonal change. Every 3 days, the season changes. Not the surrounding nature, but it's the self changes in a micro seasons. Our mind changes every seconds. And it's part of the impermanence of all things. And that's what kind of wabi-sabi notion of that impermanence comes from.
And as you said, you can see a lot of the impermanence in ikebana, which is the flower arrangement that you're referring to. And so we have one here that we wanted to take a look at. So could you talk to us a little bit about, because I know some of the rules are like, there needs to be movement. So the movement, and like you said, the seasonality to respect the impermanence of life, the transience of life.
In traditional Japan, they are not interested in the full bloom. The flower has been cut. And the first day, it's a bud. Second day, it's half opened up a little bit. The third day, it opened, but yet it's already dying. It's this kind of a notion of impermanence, the transience of all things. Here too, as we talk, the light have changed completely here from early morning to now. Even myself, I'm sitting in a kind of a soft cushion, but my body is wilting, and my breathing is perhaps different than when I came in here. And wabi-sabi, it is a between. It's not wabi and sabi. They're interdependent. They're all in oneness. As we practice here, ourselves, the bow, the arrow, the target, when it becomes oneness, We call that void, empty. That's what the tea ceremony is all about. This tiny, tiny 4.5 mat floor, you are drinking a tea in a small bowl, but you're coming with an empty cup. The suggestion here to practice with an empty cup. Please come with empty mind. We leave our minds outside. So we take our shoes, leave the minds outside, and come back with an empty cup. So I could feel it for you. I think the practice of Wabi-Sabi is very important. Not learning, not thinking. The practice of the physical body is very important. We shoot here many, many times in order to shoot yourself. We have a target here, a straw mat. There's lots of thousands of straw combined in one target. But actually, that target is yourself. To shoot yourself is very important here. Our conversation too, I'm trying to shoot myself, to not talk about wabi-sabi. Many of the Japanese culture and the language and practice is just like, almost like a circumambulating the entire question. The conjunction between things in Japanese, they're very empty. That emptiness is so important in our practice here.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think even in, we say the same thing in the yogic tradition. Yoga is the moment between stillness and movement, between hard and soft. You know, it's this beautiful gray area that I think you're right. Wabi-Sabi does kind of live in that area as opposed to one thing. And then I know in Kyudo, the point is to lose yourself and give yourself to the shot, right? The truth of the shot, the honesty of the shot. Could you talk a little bit about that in Kyudo?
Yeah, I think the shushin, the beginner's mind,
yes,
is very important here. Here in America, and that's so different than the Japanese culture. It's a vertical space versus horizontal space. Vertical space is accumulation of accomplishments, and that's your ego. But horizontal space, it's impermanent, it's floating, or constantly floating. People ask me how long I've been practicing. I've been practicing probably 800 years. 5 generations from me, maybe somebody was able to hold the bowl, just to hold the bowl correctly.
Yeah.
That's our practice here. So you need to balance yourself with the horizontal, the impermanence of things.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you for your time. Mr. Hirokazu Kosaka, Master Artist in Resident at the JACCC, and also a Buddhist priest. We're so grateful for his time, so thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's it, folks. Wabi-Sabi, right? Embracing the imperfection, the impermanence, the asymmetry of life. And now, if you'd like, we're going to go to the JACCC's Japanese Garden, and we're going to flow out there, all embracing the wabi-sabi of it all. All right, and if you're ready, let's move. What's up, family? So here we are at the award-winning James Irvine Japanese Garden here at the JACCC. So one, we just want to have so much gratitude and thankfulness for this garden and this space, and thank you to the JACCC. And then second, let's get going with our flow. So today, it's based on what we learned about today. Wabi-Sabi, Ikebana, Japanese tea ceremony. It's all about embracing the beauty and imperfection and impermanence, right? And the pinnacle of this flow is gonna be Bird of Paradise, which looks like the flower, kind of like Ikebana, the bird of paradise, right? But it's gonna be weird, it's gonna be awkward. Some of ours might be not so good, but we embrace that, the beauty of all that, all right? So let's get flowing. So come to the top of your mat and just stand in mountain pose. So your feet can be hip-width distance apart, palms facing out, arms at the side. Really feel strong and grounded and rooted here. And then inhale the arms up, finding a slight back bend as the hands touch. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Hands come to the floor. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold over again. Plant the hands, step or hop back. I'm gonna step back. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, which I'm doing. So you got a 90-degree bend in the elbows. And then inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Pulling the chest through, peeling the shoulders back. All 10 toes pressing into the mat. And then exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. So your hips are going up and back. And at the same time, your heels are drawing towards the floor. They might not touch, but that's okay, right? We're working with what we have at the moment, the beauty and the imperfection. One more inhale. And as you exhale, bend the knees, look forward, and I want you to step your right foot outside your right hand and your left foot outside your left hand. Then inhale, rise on up, you're in a low squat. And your hands can be like you're pressing a yoga block in between your hands. We're here for 2 breaths, inhale. Exhale, activate the glutes, the thighs. Inhale. And as you exhale, rise on up, hands come to prayer at the heart space. Then inhale them up. Find your slight back bend again. And then exhale. I want you to heel toe your feet together as your hands come to your heart. So your feet are hip width distance apart. Then inhale, raise the hands, sit back into chair pose. So your shins are drawing back, your hips are drawing back as your glutes pull towards the floor. Inhale here. Keep the chest tall and proud. Exhale, maybe you sink a little deeper. Inhale again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back, lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. This is upward facing dog. Exhale to down dog. All right, so that was our quick warm up, right? Maybe you walk your dog while we're here for a second. Now we're gonna flow. So find some stability in your down dog. And then inhale, lift the right leg, keeping the hips square to the mat. 5 toes pointing down. Exhale, right foot outside of right thumb tip. Inhale, rise on up, crescent lunge. We've done this one before, so we know what to look for, right? 90-degree bend in the knee. Back leg can be slightly bent or straighter. Just protect the integrity of the lower back. All right, exhale. We're gonna open up to warrior 2. So you can adjust your stance, but you wanna keep that 90-degree bend. Back foot is now parallel to the back of the mat, and really bend into that front knee. Looking over the fingertips. Now let's reverse it. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Left hand slides down the left leg, right hand comes overhead. And then exhale, right elbow comes to right knee, left hand overhead for a side angle pose. Now I want you to inhale here, and then exhale. If you can, drop your right shoulder underneath your right leg, and then take your left hand and bind with your right hand. Starting to bind. Now open the chest up. So try not to stay like this. If you do this, then stay in side angle. Open the chest up if you can, keeping the ribs in. Inhale here. And as you exhale, just slowly slide your foot in, your back foot, and bring it to hip width distance by your other foot. Keep low in your squat. And then inhale, raise the arms for chair pose. Imperfectly perfect. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back. Lower down for your chaturanga. Inhale for your cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale for your downward facing dog. All right, let's do the other side, right? Inhale, lift the left leg, hips still square to the mat, toes still pointing down. Exhale, left foot to left thumb tip. Inhale, get strong in the legs. Rise up, crescent lunge. We're gonna move a little quicker now. Exhale, open up to warrior 2. Adjust your stance, back foot's parallel, tailbone's drawing down towards the floor. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Left hand overhead. Exhale, side angle pose. Left elbow to left knee, right hand overhead. Now inhale here. And let's find that bind if you found it on the other side, or stay in side angle. So left arm comes underneath, right hand goes back to meet it. Keep the front leg bent, and then open the chest. Keep those ribs in the body. Inhale here. And then exhale, start to slide the back foot in. Keep the bend in that front knee. And then bring it hip width distance outside the other foot. And inhale, ooh, my mic pack. Rise on up to chair pose. Inhale here. And then exhale, forward fold. Step back. That's my mic pack, y'all. Imperfectly perfect. Lowering down chaturanga. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale for downward facing dog. All right, beautiful, you guys. 2 breaths here. So now we're about to go into our bird of paradise soon. So we're gonna do that same flow on the right side. But before we end, we're gonna be in a bird of paradise position, okay? So let's inhale the right leg up. Exhale, right foot to right thumb tip. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up, warrior 2. Adjust your footing. Your feet should be perpendicular to each other. Inhale, reverse that warrior. Exhale, side angle pose. Right elbow, right knee, left hand overhead. Inhale. Then exhale, bind if you did on the other side. Beautiful. Now inhale here. And then exhale, slide your foot in and bring it about, could be a little wider than hip width distance, next to your right foot. All right, get low, stay low. Look at your left foot, make sure it's sturdy and strong in the floor. Then inhale, begin to rise up, bringing the right leg with you. And once you find your drishti, which is a stable point in front of you that's not moving, to help you stabilize, begin to kick the leg open if you can, as much as you can. Breathing here. All right, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Woo, see, imperfectly perfect. Step the right foot hip width from the left, then inhale, find your chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Step back, lower down for your chaturanga. Inhale for your upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Other side, inhale, lift the left leg. Keep those hips square to the mat. Exhale, left foot to left thumb tip. Inhale, rise for crescent lunge. Exhale, open up. Warrior 2. Adjust your stance. Make sure that back foot's parallel to the back of the mat. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, find your side angle. Left elbow, left knee, right hand overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, bind. Left hand comes underneath. Left leg, right hand meets it. Keep the chest open. Inhale. Exhale, start to slide that back foot in. Bring it a little wider than hip width distance. So hard to speak when you're upside down. And then inhale, begin to slowly rise up with your bird of paradise. Beautiful. And once you find your drishti and you feel stable, kick open the leg. Bird of paradise. Breathing here. Inhale, and then exhale, bring the foot back in. When you're ready, lower down. Inhale, find your chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, my birds of paradise. Step back. Find your vinyasa. So knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale for downward facing dog. Always in these videos, I always say, I'm out of breath by the end. 15 minutes, you can do a lot. All right, inhale here. Exhale, lower your knees. They can be pretty close together. Untuck your toes. And bring your arms alongside your body, palms facing up, and head to ground. Traditional child's pose, Balasana. Breathing. Feeling the effects of our practice today. the wabi-sabi of it all. And then when you're ready, come on up and just kick your legs out in front of you. Find a nice middle position on your mat and lay down. So we went from one baby, child's pose, to now we're going to happy baby. So kick your feet up, but trying to keep your lower back as close to the mat or on the mat if possible. And grab the outsides of your feet. And with a 90-degree bend in your knees, pull your feet down so your knees are pulling towards the floor, while at the same time, pulling the shins back. Remember, try and keep that lower back on the floor. Breathing here. Maybe you rock your baby side to side, massaging the lower back. Maybe you extend one leg at a time, feeling a nice stretch in the back of the legs. Nice. I like these poses, child's pose and happy baby, for this flow, because aren't they always in the moment? Don't they accept everything as it is? I feel like babies are very wabi-sabi. All right, and when you're ready, release the legs down. Bring them as like parallel as you can get them, and then inhale the right knee into the chest. Maybe you open it up a little to the right. And then I want you just to shift your hips slightly to the right and then twist over to your left, making sure you keep your right shoulder down. And you can look over to your right hand, breathing here. If your right shoulder's peeling off the mat, just ease off the twist a little bit to get that right shoulder down. That's most important, okay? All right, let's inhale back to center. Let that leg go. Inhale, pull the left leg in. All right, feel a nice stretch in the hips. Maybe open the left knee out to the left a little, feel that difference. Bring it back into center, and then just shift your hips over to the left a smidge, and then twist open to your right. So you look over your left hand, right knee's down, left shoulders also down. And remember, if your left shoulder's kind of peeling off, just ease off the twist and get that shoulder down. Breathing here. All right, inhale back to center. Hug the knee in one last time, and then exhale, let it go. That was our flow, Sunday's first club. So let's make our feet as wide as our mat, if not even wider, and let the feet fall out. We're setting up for Shavasana. Take your arms, place them by your side, palms facing up. And I want you to kind of rest nicely on, there should be a nice ball in the back of your skull. Find that and rest on that. Your mom worked so hard to form that for you. It's a nice place to rest your head instead of like dropping your chin in or being too far back. There's just nice, perfect, even ball there. All right, close the eyes. Let's take one more inhale together. The biggest inhale of the whole class. Hold it at the top, and then exhale with sound. Shavasana. All right, take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Maybe begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, just bringing a little life back into the body. And you're ready? Let's roll over to our left side. Creating a pillow with your left arm, bringing the knees up into a 90-degree angle in a fetal position. Just resting here for a moment. Eyes still closed or half shut. Let's press up. And then come to an easy seated position. So cross-legged. Hands can be, palms are on your knees, but they're facing up. Okay, so your palms are facing up to the sky or the ceiling, wherever you're practicing today. Let's breathe together again. Inhale. And exhale through the nose. And as you all know, I like to leave you with a little something before I go. So we learned about Wabi-Sabi today, the embracing of the impermanence of life and the imperfections of life. And we learned that imperfections actually make something unique and rare and beautiful, right? So in our lives, I want to turn the lens on us for a second. Oftentimes when we find imperfections in ourselves, we admonish them. We say, I'm beautiful in spite of these imperfections. But what I'd like to offer to us today is that we're actually beautiful because of those imperfections. Those imperfections make us unique. And when something's unique in human culture, it's rare, right? And we love rare things. So know that you are rare. There's no other you than you. So let's inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands into prayer, into the heart space, bowing the head to the hands. Thanking yourself first and foremost for showing up to your mat today, for practicing. Thanking those who practice with us, whether virtually or in person. And thanking this Sunday's First Club community that we continue to build month after month. Namaste. All right, you all, thank you so much. Again, thank you to the JACCC for letting us practice here. We'll see you next month. We have something really cool planned for you then as well. So thank you all for tuning in and see you next time.